everybody. Welcome to our daily dose of success God's way. This is Erin Harrigan, your Hustle with Heart and Health coach, helping entrepreneurs align results to God's truth and helping everyone attain lifelong results for total health with Arbonne. Coming to you today on the topic of fear. If you're wondering what these shiny things are under my eyes, I have my eye masks on. I was up late last night working on the book, and I have my Today's Shake. I might have to do that every day. Today's shake flavor. This is my strawberry basil lemonade. You might be wondering, why does it look green? Because it's the spinach in my greens balance that I added to it. So fear. I know there's a lot of acronyms for fear. I'm not going to go into that today. But over the last few days, since a retreat that I attended on Saturday, I've been really working through some fears that actually, since I sort of started to uncover them on Saturday, morphed into what the real fear was. And I worked with my friend Kathleen Stark. Shout out to Kathleen. And we walked through this yesterday. And here's what I wanted to share with you today. Very often, fear strikes us when we are about to go through a shift or something major is about to happen. So for me, as I was talking through that with her, it became abundantly clear that the fear that I had was exactly timed for my book that's coming and everything that's going to happen around that and all of the things that God has in store for me for 2020. And it came from me feeling like my identity as a speaker and a coach and a writer could only be validated if I did X, Y, and Z. And so in working through that with her, there were two key things that she brought out for me that I want to share with you this morning. The first one is these things tend to come up in vast force when we're about to go through a shift. So if you're feeling like really heavy, you're feeling untethered to anything, you're feeling like you're just blowing in the wind of emotion, I want to encourage you to do two things. One is get in the Word, get to the Lord. Take those problems and those challenges to your knees or even face down before Him if you have to, because He is our anchor. And number two, I want you to examine what's happening in your business, what's about to happen. Maybe there are goals that you're working toward, or you're right on the verge of hitting a big goal or whatever that is. What's happening in your business that could be causing this voice to be pumping up the volume, if you will. And then the other thing that came up for us was, and this came up on Saturday in the retreat, my friend Sam Harvey, who did this section on fear and rewriting our stories, and it came up yesterday with Kathleen, was we can acknowledge and we can love that voice that just is really out to protect us, right? It's an animal instinct for that to want to protect us. But here's what we can say to it. Take a seat. I got this. Take a seat. God is in my driver's seat and I'm just moving the wheel the way He's telling me to go. But acknowledging that it exists and then saying, thank you for protecting me. You can have a seat now. God's got this, right? So those are the things that I want to encourage you about this morning around fear. I am going to post a link to a song that I think is so fantastic, Francesca Battistelli's song, The Breakup Song, which you may wonder, what does it have to do with fear? But when you listen to it, I'm telling you, I added it to my Spotify 2020 Focus playlist. And it is a really good song about saying bye to fear. So I'm going to share that with you guys. So I hope that that's helpful. And then the last place that I want to take you is a reference verse. And there's so many verses throughout the Bible that tell us not to fear. And I think that probably the most famous is in Philippians. Which is Philippians 6 and 7. Do not be anxious for anything, but in everything with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to the Lord. And the peace that surpasses understanding will be yours in Christ Jesus. I will post that below here too. Why? Why does he tell us this throughout the Bible, not to fear? Because you guys, God's got it. As my friend Lisa said the other day in our Bible study, you know, the book of Revelations can be summed up in 2 words: God wins. Well, you know what? God wins every single day in our life and in our business when we put fear in its place and reach out and surrender to the Lord and let him be the one in the driver's seat. So a literal Jesus take the wheel. I hope you find this helpful today. Get down below. Let me know about your comments, what you think. Get over to Success God's Way. We had a fantastic weekly dose live last night that will become a future episode on the Hustle with Heart podcast. And as always, if I can support you in any way, walking out this journey of pursuing Success God's Way and Hustle with Heart, I'd love to touch base with you about Hustle with Heart coaching. And if you're curious about this greens drink, I'd love to chat with you about the Arbonne 30 program as well. And with that, I wish you guys a fantastic Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow on our Daily Dose. See ya.